Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is A Train 9 version 4. In the first episode, which was the previous episode, I started out this new city, utilising some gifted goods from the outside, but fundamentally starting on a fresh map, which let's just up the tempo a little, shall we? Just a little bit. Yeah, I figured we'd start out by riding around what has built up so far. Now, some of this city I own, some of it belongs to the people that built it. The AI has been productive, let's say, has started to get things rolling a little. Buses are almost to the point of breaking even. Trucks almost break even as well, and as much as this game is going to be a battle against finances over time, that's not really the purpose of this playthrough. What I'm going to try and build is a city that is, fairly magnificent, and I have a picture in my head with regards to the infrastructure I want to build and the stations I want to create. So that's what we're kind of aiming towards. But in the meantime, we just have to get going and ticking along. Now, I've invested a fair bit in the stock market. I haven't cashed those shares in yet. I'm letting them just trickle along for the time being. I'll sell them when the time comes, and that's left me with 600 million in the bank, which you would think would be enough to take me quite a long way. However, 600 million does not get you very far in this game. You can blow through that in no time flat. So it's well worth being a little careful with your money. Right, let's quit out of the ride along with that bus. Thank you, Mr. Bus Driver. And I'll show you where we're up to. Let's zoom out just a little bit. In fact, let's get the view back in the same orientation that it was before. Here we go. So, as you can see, plenty of buildings coming up now, and if we look at the number of people on these buses, some of them are starting to make a little bit of cash. There are rather too many traffic signals on the routes that they're taking, but there's not a lot I can do to help that, really. Now, my trucks are going to do quite nicely because they make a good chunk of change when they drop off. But as you can see from this one who's just rolling around here, looks like the depot at the other end is currently full. Oh well, they'll get the idea over time. And as you can see, buses are getting close, and part of the problem is probably that I'm sending them around the town, the city, 24 hours a day. Anyway, not to worry. Let's just have a quick look at the energy situation. Using 6,000, got 20,000 in stock. Plenty. Right, what have I been doing since you've been away? So I let this play through a little bit, but also I built up some initial train track, which was more of a pain than it really needed to be. The trickiest thing in the game, other than not going bankrupt, of course, is building elevated track. There is no way to manually elevate. You start the track at the elevation you want it to finish. If it can punch through a rock in terms of making a tunnel, it will do. But if it won't, then you have to figure out a way of making it go. So you can't, basically, in order to change elevation, you have to go in a straight line long enough for it to want to change of its own accord. Which is, occasionally easier said than done, and you end up with dual track that looks a little like this when you set your elevation back again, which is far from ideal, but it gets the job done. I might tinker with that a little later and get that fixed up so it's a little bit more attractive. Anyway, this 2-track station that we've got going on here is passengers, is what I'm thinking. So I've peeled off this side, tunneled through there, set up so that I can go double track if I choose to. I don't know yet. It depends how far this section goes. Whoop, steady on. Meanwhile, over here we have set up in such a way that we could roll out in a straight line all the way up the map. Exciting stuff. It's at this point, of course, that I somewhat regret the number of mountains that I've said the game can build when I created my custom map. But hey, without challenge, what are we? So what am I going to do today? Two things on the objectives for today. One, we're going to build a factory, yes, and the second is we're going to get another town under construction, and it's going to be around here, which doesn't leave a huge amount of space. If we pull a, where are we? Station list. No, construction of station. There we go. So this is the same size station I've got in the original town. And as you can see, you know, it doesn't leave an awful lot of space for buildings. Now, we could extend round to the whole of this this little island section. As much as all the land is connected, I'm still treating it as though it's an island. And you know what? In the spirit of getting going quickly, I think I might do just that. Yes? Really? Yeah? We happy with that? Let's just check the orientation of this station so that we can get track out the other side. That feels pretty good. Now you don't have a full 360 degree range of motion, but we should be able to get onto there. I want to get as much in the catchment area as possible, and I think we'll have to smooth the ground out there as well, which is another thing that I enjoy being foxed by on a regular basis. There we go. That should have smoothed. No, that's. There we go. That's just a minor lump, and changing the elevation. So as you can see, that small bit of smoothing that I just did cost me a best part of $1.5 million. So we'll accept that. Off we go. Right, let's get a station up. Enough chat. Let's get to action. So it doesn't want to build on there. Yes. And I want to build this in such a way, of course, that I can actually get the track to hit. Because there are no do-overs. You know, if you blow it, then that's that money spent. And I cannot stress enough just how short on cash this game makes you on a regular basis. Okay, good. Right, well, that's something. We've managed to get our first station connected. I think I might try and get some points on here. Or maybe further up the line is going to be an easier way to go. I think further up the line is going to be an easier way to go. You need good... when track building in this game... oh, hold on. No, we've got that as an option. I'll take it. Now the question is, can I then make a diamond junction here? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. Right. That's a positive place to start. Right, so we'll put in the fundamentals to ensure that this can actually, you know, pick up some speeds to grow. But it's not going to do me any good at all. I mean, running a train out here now would just be a handsome way to spend a heck of a lot of money for not a lot of return. But I do want to try and get... No, that's excessive. If there were one feature that was actually quite good, the road laying, for as fiddly as it is, the fact that you can back up to your last click at any point is very helpful. It would be nice if you were to do a corner here, my friend. Come on, just connect up. Come on, just for the sake of the fact that I've got the recording running here, and I don't... Yeah. As mentioned, very helpful that I could back up to the last click. If we go there, then we've got a right angle, so... Better. The reason for fussing so much over getting it connected is, once the AI starts building up, the only way you can get rid of the buildings they've done is by buying them effectively. Now, I mean, you can bulldoze straight through them, but it does cost you a significant chunk of change, which is why it's probably a good idea for me. So here we go. I'll show you a bit of track building here. I haven't really got space to change the elevation. So you change elevation thus, right? You hold control down and use the mouse wheel. to change the elevation of the piece of track. Now, you can only do this with the first piece of track, and it will try and guess the best place to go. So, you know, if you're trying to go over the mountain, it'll figure that for you. Now, I want to build a rail bridge here. Yeah, you see, and I don't want it to change height on me along the way. There we go. Let's go as far as there. Purely because it's going to look lovely by doing so. Good engineering term there. Lovely. And what I haven't done is left enough space for it to drop elevation on the way back down. Brilliant. There we go. So there's your first example right there. It needs a lot of straight line space in order to drop down. And if I keep going that way, you'll see just how much it wants. Now, if I were to remove some... No, it can only remove the entire bridge. Marvellous. Well, we're off to a flying start there. So you can, I mean, you can go over the water on, you know, just flat. I want to go to there. And the only reason I'm doing this now is purely so that the AI doesn't get any funny ideas and start overlaying with very expensive buildings. So we'll go over flat to the height of the water there, and with a bit of luck, I've got enough space so I can put some crossings in. There we go. But again, I'm being foiled by the landscape, because it doesn't just build you nice, clean, easy to cross over little, you know, flat or hill. You occasionally get little lumps in the ground that you can't do an awful lot with. See, you don't want to play, do you? And again, you can't change elevation that quickly, which means you bring out your geoscaping tool, do a bit of a flatten, and then hopefully we'll be able to get round there. Oh, come on. Look, see? You can see the bit I missed. Still, there's enough room for me to do a bit more road. Goodness me. Okay, right. So, next up, I'm going to build a factory. Now, historically, I've tended to use factories with trains because it's cool. That's your reason right there. Yeah, trains are cool. Trucks less so. You know, there are, as much as Euro Truck Simulator is quite the game. Trains are where it's at. Okay, so let's see. Have I got room to get under? Ugh, look at that bridge. I'm gonna fix that track while you're away, I think. But we do want to get the factory up and running now. Let's think about this carefully. Can we get a tunnel through there? Nope. That's the other thing it doesn't like doing. It doesn't like making tunneling easy. Okay, right, well, we could go from here and then down. No. We could go from here and then down. No. Is there any angle at which I can actually build a flaming bridge? It's the most annoying aspect of the game. Let's go as far as here and then try it. No. We can do it over there, but that's not going to accomplish much. We'll just go around the outside, I guess. Let's go that way, then out here, and then the AI can figure out the rest of it, I think. Okay, right. Okay, so with this square, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a factory around the far side in just a moment. Now, the good news about factories is they're the one thing that you don't actually need any goods in order to build them in the first place. What have we got over there? Is that buildable? It is buildable. All right, maybe some re-engineering to make that work in the future would be advisable. For the moment, though, we'll continue laying out some roads. And the reason that laying out roads, there's any value to it in the slightest, is because it kind of sets the template off which the the AI is then going to, you know, just do whatever the hell it pleases. All right, okay, that's the fundamentals in. So that, I mean, that's the right word, really, is get the fundamental building pieces in place, and then work from there. Right, let's get myself a factory up. I think we'll go medium here. Now, factories only work. Important safety tip: factories only work during the week. They do not work at weekends. Now, have we got, can we, the question is, where do I want to put it? Maybe I go a bit further than this. In fact, I'm going to go a little further than this. And we'll take it right the way out to the edge. Now, we're going to be transporting by truck, which means that this stuff is never going to get very far. We're not going to build we're not going to build anything humongous off the back of this, so we don't want to blow money on the most expensive factory available. A medium will do nicely, and once again, the factory needs to be within the sphere of influence of the station in question, which is this goods depot, and I'm going to put it right next to it. There we go. Right, and then we want a couple of drop-off points. Station. In fact, let's up the tempo while we do that, and then the factory will start to fill in for me. All right, where should we build? We'll have one over here, I guess, and then we'll have one out here by the station. Okay, that seems to cover the fundamentals. Once we've got a bit of track built, once we've got some goods built up here, we'll get some. Yeah, let's go max speed. So it doesn't work at night, doesn't work at weekends. Important safety tip. There we go. We're on Saturday now, so it's not going to build anything else for a couple of days. As you can see, we're handsomely tracking the services that we're running. Quite why we're only tracking 1 and 3, don't know. Interesting. Anyway, what are we doing profit-wise? Weekends, not so much, but as you can see from these trucks, you know, when they do a successful drop-off, they can actually make a decent chunk of change in a day. Still not quite enough to end in profit, but close enough. All right, Monday morning. Goods, please. Thank you. Right, there we go. So let's slow it back down again. Let's buy me another couple of trucks. We'll take reds here, I think. Now, we only want 2 because we want this to kind of trickle out trickle out the what? Trickle out to those 2 loading bays that I set up, which means that this is going to develop quite slowly, but you know, I'm comfortable with it being slow and steady. Right, let's place the first truck down, and again, this is for you new people. Right, we hit the timetable assistant. Right, timetable assistant. Basically, what it says, what this is about, is setting your routes up for you, and it's actually very helpful. It's a helpful way to do things. So we want to load at this station, and we want to reverse, which basically means we're going to switch direction back the way we came. Now, at the moment, of course, this truck doesn't have no idea where we came from. We're going to do our first delivery of the day at 10 a.m. with a 10-15 minute stop. Last departure of the day is let's go 7 o'clock. Okay, right. What are you doing? Yes. Okay. So this one here is basically controls the length of time to stop at this particular distribution terminal. So we'll do a 15-minute stop. Should be more than enough. 15. There we go. Load 15. Right, and we're also only going to run on weekdays, and do we want to go Mondays? Is Mondays a good idea? Yeah, it probably is. All right, off we go. Then we hit continuous, and we're off and running. Now we're going to want to whiz the tempo just a touch here. Right, we'll send this one up to that drop off there, so we'll turn left at these lights. And basically what we've just told this truck is any time it approaches that junction, it will turn left. Now we confuse the hell out of it if new junctions turn up. So if the AI starts getting busy with the, you know what I haven't done, don't you? I haven't built any. Let's pause, close the timetable assistant for a moment. I haven't built anywhere for it to drop goods off. Clever. Right, and we'll use the handy chuck it underneath, and we'll go out as far as here, I think. Now when chucking it underneath, you can't go too far from the drop-off point because it does take vertical distance into account as well. Important safety tip, that one. And then I need another one over here as well, so let's do the same thing. Right, good. Right, that's that user. Train and timetable assistant, and let's get this show back on the road. Right, and then we've reached our second terminal. Now on this one we want to unload every time. I'm not going to set it to only work on weekdays for the very simple reason of it has a stopping point, and that's the critical difference. Is basically what will happen is at the end of the week, this chap no, straight please. This chap will wait in the distribution center up until the point that we're ready to rock and roll. At which point it'll just hang around. You can pass through this one. No stop necessary. Turn left. The other thing that I strongly recommend at this point is know what your route is before you set off. Because the timetable assistant doesn't give you all the time in the world to, well, it doesn't give you all the range of camera motion to figure out actually what your route's going to be. So there we go, back at the distribution center, 15-minute wait, and then it'll be off and rolling again. At which point we close that and we get his partner in crime set up, which is obviously going to the other. Right, and let's get the assistant on this chap. So he's doing a very similar route, but he's going to pass through at the other depot, the other goods stop, the drive-in. So from the looks of it, they're going to be able to complete maybe 2, I guess, maybe 2 a day. Unload, please. And once these chaps have dropped off enough goods, I can use them to build whatever I fancy, or the AI can use them to build whatever it fancies. It's a bit of a free-for-all, but it is actually quite an elegant system. And so getting your goods supply working, you can pass through that one, and then you can turn left, and then you can go right. And the only thing left to tell it is what to do when it gets here. Right, so action mode, there's going to be a stop. We're going to reverse, load only, departure time 9:30, 15-minute stop. Right, there, last set off for the day at 7. Let's go 6:55. That way there's a gap in between the two truck services, and weekdays only. Right, so they're already fully loaded, but as you can see, it's now midnight on Tuesday morning. So let's whiz through the night. And then here we go. First truck's off. Kill the timetable assistant. Second one shouldn't be far behind. Actually, we're running very slow there. In your own time, son. There we go, off you run. So there we go. Trucks are rolling. So we're starting to build this section up, and while you're away, I will continue to work on this new area. Once we've got a little bit of build up as far as the AI is concerned, we'll get some passenger trains rolling. There we go. Three a day. That's okay. We can do 3 a day. And I'll tweak that number based on the amount of goods left in the factory. If the factory starts to overflow, maybe I'll send these guys out on a Saturday, or maybe one extra load on a weekday. Who knows? Let's just quickly spin back over here, see if there's been any major developments. I've not moved forward in time that much, but no, everything is still ticking along quite nicely. Anyway, thanks very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. This is going to be a regular series, but not at a particularly fast speed, I don't think. Obviously, if the entire world is watching, then I'll up my rate of delivery. But thanks very much for watching today. Chuck me a subscribe if you haven't already. It's very beneficial. It's why I'm here. And be sure to like this video to encourage me to do more. Thanks very much for watching. Cheerio.
Listen.